CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Well, as the province announces more money to support programs to fight bullies, the mother of 15-year-old Amanda Todd is crying out tonight after being left out of the BC government's anti-bullying summit. Carol Todd asked if she could observe the summit as it was rolled out in Vancouver yesterday, but she was told by the Education Ministry that her presence may upset fragile teens who were there. She says it would have been nice to have had an invitation since Premier Christy Clark was talking about her daughter.
Last week, on Thursday, I received a phone call from a representative of the Ministry of Education that told me that I guess that I wasn't getting an invite, and the reasons were that they were concerned that some of the students that were there speaking would be affected by my presence there.
The Education Ministry says it consulted with anti-bullying experts that recommended that Todd's participation may not be appropriate with young students attending. In the province said today it's offering up to $1 million to groups that need money to help fight bullying. The government says the money, which was seized from the proceeds of crime, is being made available to schools, police agencies and community groups. In addition to anti-bullying programs, the province says the proceeds of crime grants can also be used to projects that aim to prevent family violence, violence against women, and stopping young people from taking up a life of crime. The Regional District of Nanaimo has agreed to get on board the money train and pay for its share of track restoration on the E&N rail line. Board members voted last night to approve a one-time grant of $950,000 to the Island Corridor Foundation. The foundation needs $3.2 million to unlock another $14.5 million in federal and provincial funding. The foundation has asked all 5 regional districts on Vancouver Island to contribute. 4 of them now have. The Comox Valley Regional District is the last piece of the E&N funding puzzle.
Well, this is very big today because Nanaimo being the hub and really the area that will see probably the most benefit of a improved and sustainable rail, very important to have them on side. Difficult decision for a lot. People looking, you're looking at the future, you're not looking at today.
The Comox Valley Regional District votes on its E&N funding on November 27th. BC Transit has agreed it will not use outside maintenance workers during its ongoing labour dispute with the Mechanics and Drivers Union. The two sides met informally today at the BC Labour Relations Board. The union complained the transit was contracting out maintenance work. BC Transit said it was within the company's rights, but because of the job action, not enough regular staff was available to do the work. Transit has agreed to bring 9 buses back to its yard that have been set out for repairs. The company hopes that will bring enough goodwill to entice the union back to the bargaining table. The labour dispute is not having an impact on BC Transit's annual charitable giving campaign. That fundraiser kicked off today. Over the past 9 years, transit employees have raised $500,000 for the Help Fill a Dream Foundation, and today some of the families who have benefited gathered to share their stories. One family says their son would not have the quality of life he enjoys if it hadn't been for Help Fill a Dream.
I applied on a hope and a prayer to Help Fill a Dream, and we received a phone call and said that we would be able to get this wheelchair accessible van. A brand new wheelchair accessible van with a side entry so Caden could get in and out if he wanted to on a good day.
Transit employees will also raise money as they do each year for the United Way, adding to the nearly $600,000 they've raised for the agency since 1995. And if you want to see the jolly old elf this weekend, you can see him in the downtown Victoria Santa Claus Parade this Saturday, November 17th. It's the annual Island Farms Santa's Light Parade. It begins at 5:45, setting off from Belleville at Government and ending on Store Street after making its way up Government Street. Before the parade begins, you can take your family to Centennial Square to get into the holiday spirit with the big Christmas light up. That event kicks off when they flip the switch at 5. The program begins at 4 o'clock, though. No skating rink this year, but they are installing a 65-foot tall, that's what, about a 20-meter tall Ferris wheel in Centennial Square. They'll start doing that later in the week, and we'll show that to you. A Vancouver Island family is marking a sad anniversary, remembering today and sharing their story as the province focuses its attention once again on the scourge of bullying. It was 15 years ago today that Rena Burke was killed, one of the first high-profile cases of bullying that led to death in BC. Burke was killed on November 14, 1997, beaten and drowned beneath the Craigflower Bridge in Saanich, killed by people she thought were her friends. Burke was beaten by a group of teens, but two of them then went on to kill her. Her parents say they had a feeling that Rena was being bullied, but they didn't know the extent.
She wouldn't let us know, but we could tell some signs that she's not happy. She wants to make excuses to go to school. So we could figure out that there is something not right. But then later we found out even worse things that what happened to her.
Warren Glowatsky received a life sentence after being convicted of second-degree murder in Burke's death. Kelly Ellard was tried 3 times. The guilty verdict in her third trial was set aside, but the Supreme Court upheld it on appeal. Ellard will be eligible for parole next year. The University of Victoria is honouring BC's former Lieutenant Governor and his wife for their work in the community. Stephen Point and his wife, Mrs. Gwendolyn Point, were awarded honorary degrees at the UVic convocation ceremony today. The university addressed them as the most respected leaders in the Coast Salish territory. The pair was recognized for improving relationships between British Columbians and its Indigenous people. Gwendolyn has worked endlessly to promote education in First Nations. Stephen Point was the first Indigenous person to hold the position of the official representative of the Queen in BC, which he just recently relinquished. If you live in Tofino, you may be voting soon in a by-election because your mayor is stepping down. Tofino Mayor Perry Schmunk says he's leaving his post because of timing conflicts with council meetings. Schmunk recently accepted a job as an executive with the Cactus Club group of restaurants. Council meetings in Tofino are Tuesday nights, and he has trouble getting to them because his new job is based in Vancouver. He asked Council if it would consider changing the night of the meeting. Council said no, so he will resign from Tofino, the mayor's office, as of the 1st of January. Well, the Salvation Army in the Cowichan Valley says it is seeing a disturbing trend. There is more shoplifting going on in its thrift stores, and the most recent theft is especially upsetting for the volunteers. A Remembrance Day display has gone missing. It included military items, including a metal helmet set out to honor our veterans. The Salvation Army says it's a disgraceful act that robs from the community.
Number one, we put it out here for the veterans, and we're very appreciative of what the veterans have done for us, and that's why we want to do this. And to have someone steal from the veterans display to honor them, it feels a little bit like a betrayal almost, that they've taken not only from the Salvation Army and from the display here, but they've dishonored the veterans in doing that by taking something like that.
The Sally Ann says it'll now have to take money that was set aside for its hamper program to replace the display. The Cowichan Sportsplex is getting a facelift thanks to an $89,000 boost from the federal government. The Cowichan Sportsplex is an outdoor facility that includes a track as well as 3 sports fields, ball diamonds and a nature trail. It's run by the Chesterfield Sports Society, which is a non-profit group that will also match $89,000 for the upgrade.
We're going to be developing further a fitness circuit on a trail that goes around our 3 ball diamonds and back around to an existing seniors fitness circuit or fitness installation that we have. So there are going to be a number of workout stations, children's interactive feature, a fountain, picnic tables, benches, so that people can exercise and relax all at once in the same circuit.
The Sports Society says the Sportsplex will allow people who can't afford a gym membership to come and use it and get active. The upgrades are expected to be completed by next spring. Well, the motorhome from Big Boys Toys has hit the highway on Vancouver Island once again, an annual road trip in support of Vancouver Island food banks. It's the 5th annual campaign, and it kicked off today. Organizers are trying to stuff the moho full of non-perishable food items by the middle of December. All donations go to the Salvation Army and the Loaves and Fishes Food Bank in Nanaimo to help them stock their shelves for the holidays.
We did set a pretty bold target this year of 15,000 pounds. We managed to do about 12 last year. So we think with the support of our community, we can do it. The last event is Diana Krall Plaza on the 13th, and it's a big event. It's right in your neighborhood there. We're looking forward to that. Royal Bank partners with us, Quality Foods, and we just do the whole day down there. It's a lot of fun, so hopefully everyone can come out.
Watch for the moho as it rolls through your town. It'll make a few more stops in Nanaimo, Parksville, and Qualicum Beach. And you can check out when the motorhome comes to your community online at bigboystoys.ca.